All right. Okay, so one thing that people have been asking is how do I get from a table to write an equation to represent that relationship? So I'm going to use this example of the problem that we did in class. Well, we are going to do it in class on Friday, but by the time you watch this video, we might already have done it together. Um, but what I'm going to try to do is highlight for you my thinking process for how I get from like a table to an equation, and why that makes sense to me. Um, okay, so a company that sells movies online is deciding how much to charge customers to download a new movie. Based on data from previous sales, the company predicts that if they charge X dollars for each download, then the number of downloads in thousands is 18 minus X. So, which kind of makes sense because if you increase the price, it would make sense that there are fewer people who are willing to pay that price to download the movie. So, we're just going to think about the number of downloads in thousands. So, if they sell, if it $3 per download, they're going to sell 15,000 downloads. If it's 5 per download, I'm going to do, and I'll put it in green kind of right here. If it's 18 minus 5, and this one was 18 minus 3, this is going to be 18 minus 5, which is 13,000 downloads. 18 minus 10, which is 8,000 downloads. 18 minus 12, which is, what is 18 minus 12? 6? That would make sense. 18 minus 15, which is 3. And 18 minus 18, that's the price where it's too much. People aren't going to buy that anymore. Okay. And then for this X piece, my thinking is like all of these numbers here are X numbers. So to figure out, I'm going to look at like, what did I do? What's my repeated reasoning? That's the same over and over, where I can replace that price number with an X value. And in this case, it's 18 minus 3, 18 minus 5, 18 minus 10, 18 minus 12, 18 minus 15, 18 minus 18. It's always 18 minus the X value. So that's what I'm going to do. Oops, I don't know what just happened. Okay. 18 minus X. So then my number of 1,000 downloads, 18 minus X. So I'm going to say that this is D of P, where this is price, and this is going to be R of P for revenue. My download function, D of P, is going to be 18 minus the input value. So this would be how I would write that equation. Okay. Because it's 18. If the input is X, the output's 18 minus X. Whatever the input is, that's the output. All right. And then revenue. So revenue, we're going to have to use our brain here. Revenue is how much money you make. Okay. So if you sell 15,000 downloads and they're $3 per piece, this is 15 times 3, which was 45. So then this one, the next one is going to be 13 times 5. I'm using a calculator here, which was $65,000. And the next one is 10 times 8, which is $80,000. And then the next one is 12 times 6. I feel like this is one I should know. Yep, I should know that. 72. And then the next one is 15 times 3, which is 45. And then 18 times 0, which is 0. Okay. So then for the revenue, what I'm doing is I'm multiplying. I wish I had different colors. Yeah, let's pick this. So I'm going to do green. Okay, so I'm multiplying the number of $1,000 of revenue multiplied by, let's pin that for a second. I'm multiplying the number of thousands of, like, the downloads times the price. And I don't want to use, so I'll use green for this, pink. So I'm doing, this number times this number. Oops. Well, you know what I mean. Okay. So then when I go to do my equation, I know that I'm going to need to do the number of thousands of downloads, 18 minus X, which is a value. So I'm going to put it in parentheses because it's like one value. And then I'm multiplying that times the price. And I can clean this up a little bit. But this, so for my, so R of P is going to be X, oops, except that my input is P, is going to be P times 18 minus P. So I could write it like that. I could also use distributive function if I wanted to, or distributive property. So P times 18 is 18P minus P times P is P squared. So I could also, this would also work. Equivalent. Kind of whichever one's easier. These are the same thing. So essentially what I'm doing is when I go through and I do that repeated calculation over and over and over, I try to really think about, like, what is the pattern of repeated reasoning that I could use to do like the same pattern, but instead of using a value, I use the X as kind of a placeholder for the value. That's the way I think about it. I hope that is helpful to you. We're going to keep working on these. I have confidence you will get it. But this is probably one of the hardest things to learn in algebra. So, like this, how to write an equation is one of the hardest things to learn in algebra because it's tricky and it feels like magic until you understand it. So, we're going to keep doing it, and I have confidence you're going to get it eventually. And if you start to like see tricks and things, please share those with your peers, because the more we share our ideas with each other, the faster we're all going to learn it. So, thanks so much. Have a great day.